Hello everybody. Me here. Okay. So, we're gonna be playing more.
I love Phoenix Wright. He's dirty.
Because, yeah, it's today. I look like garbage, but thing is, if oh, I have I object shirt on, which is great. I love this shirt. It's got a hole in it, but I'm gonna fix it. So, yeah. Anyway, let us do day 3 of the trial. It's Edgeworth's trial, so hopefully we can figure out what to do, and I don't take like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to just remember one thing. So here we go. December 27th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Excuse me. Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently, the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here, anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Well, very well. No opening statements, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order, order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah! Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Witness, state your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant, The Wet Noodle at Gourd Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, that was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who the old guy is. Obviously raise an objection. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure, yep. What do you mean? What is this, a streamer that deserves more viewers? Hey Sky, how's it going? Thanks for your kind words. What do you mean? My, memory... Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness. Witness's testimony. The night of the murder.
It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yep. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just a-floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window.
Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict, now! Yes. Mr. Wright? Dude, obviously cross-examine. Obviously. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Rah! Excuse me? Mr. Von Karma? 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Of course, we gotta do anything to get under his skin. Absolutely. The night of the murder. And as always, we just completely kill the mood for a second and save. So yeah, Von Karma got a bit upset. As he does when he doesn't get his way. Anyway. Let's see. Night of the 24th, just after midnight. Just after midnight, you say?
Yep, just around then.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yep.
Again, because of my shitty internet, I can't watch you, but I wanted to say hi. Hi, Sky. Sorry you can't watch. That sucks. Have you tried a different browser or something? That might help. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Thanks for stopping by, though. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right?
Don't glare at me like that. I remember it clearly, I did. Yup.
You see? Continue. Restaurant where I rent boats and all that. Is there anyone who can verify that?
Well, I guess Polly could.
That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot?
Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy.
Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue.
Then I heard a bang.
And where did the bang seem to come from?
From the lake, I figure.
Are you certain?
Yep.
Good. Continue.
Looked out the window, I saw a boat.
Was there someone in the boat?
It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly. But I figure there was 2 men out there. Yep.
But you couldn't see them clearly.
Yep, at the time, that is.
At the time?
And I heard another bang.
So you heard 2 gunshots total.
Yep.
That's what Lana said in her testimony yesterday.
Just about that boat. Come back to shore, man, right by my window.
By your window?
Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack.
And could you see the man's face?
Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him.
This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I have a bad feeling about this.
That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead.
Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad!
Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too.
Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth?
It was him, that Edgeworth boy.
This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nick! I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I'd better act quick, or this trial is going to be over. Obviously raise an objection. You give me the option, I'm gonna raise an objection. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's court that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Exactly! That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true. The judge is just lost in thought. What should I do? Raise an objection. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Urgh. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough! The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No! This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The court is adjourned. Wait! Who was that just now? Me! Huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order! Order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick! This is it! Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor. If there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. What? Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. December 27th, 10:28 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Phew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Larry was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the Steel Samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon and the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. Because I did it. No. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. They even drew it right, with his right hand. I see. Oh god, excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay. Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He's let someone who he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everything depends on Larry now. December 27th, 10:35 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now back in session. Witness. Please testify to the court about everything that you saw. On the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me! Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Excuse me. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. The night of the murder. Okay. That night I was out on a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I, found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any matter, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. The night of the murder. And I was out on a boat at the lake. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Ah, there were so many things wrong, sorry. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out in the boat at such a late hour? Looking for something that I found. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that was the truth. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Oh, thanks, Von Karma. Quietly slipped the boat back at the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12. Yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Then just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang! Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know? Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa, whoa! Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case! So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Alright, so, you know, obviously, the only thing you can really contradict is the single gunshot. Which I believe I can go with this? Because it was fired 3 times, so. Really? Clearly reveals contradiction in that statement. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. I didn't do it right. Okay. It's a single gunshot. I steal 6. Okay. Lotta's disposition. Sorry, that's what you need, not the gun. Apparently, the fact that the gun was fired 3 times still hasn't come up yet enough, but, Lotta's disposition says 2 sounds, so. There we go. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? Are you sure? Are you sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard 1 gunshot? Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, on my headphones. What? Order, order, and stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to a radio on earphones? Yeah, so what? Isn't that a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Continue, because it's our only chance. Of course. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right! Leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. It's not a charade. Come on. It's Larry. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. Give me a second. There we go. So, you've turned on your radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve. Alone! I shouldn't have said anything. That's why I was listening to an all-request thing. Do you, by any chance, remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how long was the radio set? How loud was the radio set to that night? You wouldn't just ask that, man. Hold on. There's a thing happening that I must have missed. Oh. Sorry. Okay. I now realize that it was nothing. Okay. We're good. Anyway. Listening to real booming loud like. Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had your headphones on. Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. Sure, I heard the gunshot. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? Exactly what the DJ said. What did he say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karmo's right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. So yeah. Obviously, it's almost Christmas. That has relevance here. How does that have relevance? This. 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor. Did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and... almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the 2 testimonies we have heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said that it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! Order! What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Larry's right. Of course he's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Finally, it comes up. There were 3 times that this gun was fired. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order! Order! I guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah! You waste our time again with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have any proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence that proves there was a gunshot before midnight? Do you have evidence that proves Mr. Butts wasn't just hearing things? That's a great question. Do I? 2 shots, prove he wasn't just hearing things. Oh, yeah, that's right. The empty lake photo. Obviously. Because it was taken at 11:50 on Christmas Eve. So there was a sound that was heard from the camera from Lotta. So yeah, okay. Look at this photograph. Every time you do, it makes you laugh. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Missy Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Order! Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, then there were two sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why? Uh-oh, I'd better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it! I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We've got nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Well, no, but, you know. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So, you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 00:15. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who this is sitting on the boat. Blech. Oh. It's Edgeworth and Hammond. Miles Edgeworth and Robert Hammond. Yes, I believe you are mad. That is exactly what I've been telling the court this whole time. You're agreeing with me, and yet, what did you just say? That Robert Hammond had been killed 25 minutes before the shot on the boat? Yes, that's what I said. I was just testing you, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, your client has already been declared guilty once. I'm going to have to penalize you for this foolishness. Sorry. It's the wrong choice. Bah! I'll ask you again. I'm pretty sure it's Edgeworth and... Sorry, the murderer in Hammond? Is it... Oh, God. No, Edgeworth and the murderer? Sure. There we go. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Right. Sorry. That makes more sense. What? Are you serious? They set it up with the whole doing the thing. Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous! Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer, then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Well, where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not in a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? That's a great question. I'll show you where it really took place. This is the boat shop. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have any proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. It's a good recreation. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would he be if he had just returned to a boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Well, kind of. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why did he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness? I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes, several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him quickly! We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well, court is adjourned. Yay! Anyway. December 27th, 1:22 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. To be continued. It can't be the end. So yeah, we get another day. December 27th, 2:11 p.m. Wright & Co. law offices. What was Mr. Edgeworth talking about? A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of murder. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life. Never. Nick. Yo! How's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? I had him swooning in the aisles, huh, Maya? Swooning? Me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling faint. Right on, tell me the truth. It was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two. I think you can do better than that. Come on, I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy! You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah, bow before your hero. Oh, Larry. Today's trial. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did! If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would be found guilty. Would have been. But seriously, Nick. That boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know. But what I do know is I'm gonna believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Nah, he means me, right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah. Why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment. Nick, Why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yes, in grade school. They saved me, Miles and Larry. They saved me, and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know. Well... What? Hey, Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kind of forgot. Huh. Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm gonna hear this story today, and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the beginning of spring, 4th grade. Oh, jeez. I was on trial. A class trial. A class trial? The class trial. You remember, Larry. Spring, 4th grade? A kid in my class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared with $38 still inside. Who brings $38 for lunch? Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. I can see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I'd skip PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So, they thought you did it? Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day, we held a classroom trial with me as the defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty, he did it. Guilty, it was you. Thief. Give me my money back. You're such a meanie. No one will play with him. Just admit you did it. You can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not gonna play with you anymore. Yeah, no borrowing my eraser. He shouldn't be allowed in the relay race or in the library committee. Come back and give me 50 cents you loaned. Hey, at the bank the other day? Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Apologize to the class, Phoenix. Sorry. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad, I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went over to where the boy was sitting. That's when it happened. Objection! He shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in this trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed, amateurs. Miles? Look at little baby Miles Edgeworth. He's great. It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That's why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you all just shut up? This is always how it is. Everybody ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Little Larry. Very well. I will replace the money myself. Hey Yankee, how's it going? This class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were always friends. Wow, I had no idea. Good to hear. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Edgeworth's goals! Anyway, Edgeworth and I are talked after the class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. No, baby Edgeworth. I'm gonna become a defense attorney just like my dad. A famous defense attorney. Then, a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad! It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark suspicions of a demon attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. Back in 4th grade. You know, years ago. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him. I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. It's a little weird to say. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. It's so weird. In court. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick. So, is that why you helped me out for free? Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Aw, Nick. Nick! Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well may be. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. Hey, what's really nice is that all the irrelevant evidence is now gone. I think Larry has a crush on Maya. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So all the irrelevant stuff is gone, which is fantastic, actually. Because it's really annoying to have so much evidence that you don't need. So, has anyone ever shipped them? I have no idea. Let us go to the detention center first. December 27th, detention center, visitor's room. You look as grim as always. Huh. Mr. Edgeworth? I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 4th grade. Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Shifty-eyed Edgeworth is great. Oh, man. Anyway. Why prosecute? Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. Yet he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in the elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. Prosecutor Von Karma. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he is obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And no one suspect was declared innocent, ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job, to find the suspect guilty, perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right! Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. Well, Kai. Thanks, Edgeworth. Bye. Grossberg. Why not? I don't think there's gonna be much here, but we'll see. Grossberg Law Offices. He's out. Again. When does he work, anyway? Now, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. Yeah. Go here. I want to go to the Criminal Affairs Department. December 27th. Police Department. Criminal Affairs. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. Gumshoe? He won't be coming back today. Oh, really? He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. The boat shop caretaker. He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Alright. To Gourd Lake. Did you know it's December 27th and this is the Gourd Lake Park entrance? Well, now you do. Hey, pal! Long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. We literally were just looking for you over at the precinct, but hey! Close one today, eh? I got so worked up, I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No problem, pal. Thanks to you, we now know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now I'm off to catch me a criminal. Bye, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today. Oh, one other thing. Eek! No one can go into the woods today. The woods? Where Lotta was camping? The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while. I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Haha, get it? Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye, Gumshoe. Alright, to the beach. December 27th, Gourd Lake Public Beach. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's been too busy with the trial to show up for work. Yeah, I agree, Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Alright. There's only one other place to go, and that's the rental shop. December 27th, the boat rental shop. The old caretaker got away. Yep. I never imagined he might be the murderer, the real murderer. Ahem. I'd know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Aha! Hello! What might you be doing here? Okay, I just wanted the pun. Yeah, it's fine. Out for a walk, hmm? Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Mr. Grossberg. This is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow. That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. Ho ho! What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Bye, Grossberg. Thanks. Bye. What do you think Mr. Grossberg was doing here anyway? Who knows? I know! December 27th, Caretaker's Shack. Nobody's home. Hello, hello! Hey, it's Polly! I wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello, hello! I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, hello! Get it? It's parrot. What is that? Is that a thing? It doesn't look like he used this kitchen much. You're right. I guess the whole pasta restaurant thing was a lie. What? You thought he was telling the truth? Alright, well. Polly! Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick. You probably shouldn't just kidnap her. The police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Great, now the bird's gonna hate me. That reminds me, Nick. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the number to the safe?
1228.
Let's open it, Nick. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Aw. But hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. I guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Nick! Why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on the here? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says, this is your last chance. Now is your time to get revenge on the 2 men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on describing the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here, in perfect detail. I feel like my mouth is starting to not work for some reason. What do you think it means, Nick? I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for the caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions. But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth? Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. Added letter. Yay! It's like damnable evidence. That's really the only thing you need in here. Pretty sure. By the way, this case is the one case in this game that has like a really good thing happen later. You'll see. But it's probably the most ridiculous thing ever, and it's great. Okay. I guess here, and then I can go to... No, I have to go here. I gotta go to Grossberg's, I think. 1 day left, Nick? Lick, apparently, I wanted to say. Yeah, I know. Well, no time to waste, let's get going. This is if you need a hint. Because Larry isn't here. But anyway. No? Really? Wow. Okay. Hey, Edgeworth, you want to see a thing? I found a thing. Here you go. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where the boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge on me? Who is that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant you got declared guilty or something? Nice, right? But I don't remember that old man. Not at all. Oh man. Okay. So, he was following this letter then? Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is your time to get revenge on the 2 men who ruined your life. 2 men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond. It also says this is your last chance. Last chance? Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on DL6, on the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi. Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect in the DL6 incident. The one who was found innocent. Yawn. Yogi. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago. The quake was incredibly strong. Excuse me. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The air thinned, and the darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet, you're not making this any easier. I want to get out! Help! Get us out! Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court, and Yogi was found innocent. Huh? But isn't that strange? This letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? Right. Yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. They change it, I've noticed, to a murder or murder itself. I just noticed that. I think the time has come to tell all. The nightmare. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. Oof. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing, in the dark. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier! I want to get out! Help! Get us out! Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen! I can't breathe! You're using up my air! What? Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Ah! What are you... Stop breathing my air! No, father! He's attacking father! Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was evidence from that day, in court, or the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. Get away! Get away from my father! Bang! Arrgh. And with that scream, I awake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But that's just a dream, right? Right? That thought is the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. Oh my god. Excuse me. Goodness. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. What? If you think about it that way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean... It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. Murder. This is bad. What are we gonna do, Nick? What can we do? I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do, like it or not. If there's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe... There is, Nick! There is someone else who knows about DL6. Now we go talk to Grossberg. So yeah, it's a little bit of a revelation, isn't it? December 27th, Grossberg Law Offices. Mr. Grossberg? Ah, hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled. No kidding. I can't believe you're not. My. Just calm down and tell me what's happened, hmm? It's Mr. Edgeworth. He... I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father. It's only a dream. Only a dream. I wonder. What? If that's the case, then why do you two look so troubled, hmm? Well... Also, consider this. Yogi quite clearly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth. So deep, he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream. It was real. As you imagined. Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired, and the deed was done. It's a shoddy pistol, apparently. Because that's not a thing that would happen with a real pistol. Unless it was really shittily made. But hey, what do I know? No! I don't believe it. Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as a bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus, he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close. Gregory Edgeworth. I need a drink. My throat is starting to kill me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you actually, like... That's why all the movies and stuff, when they throw their guns on the ground and they go off, or, you know, any of that stuff happens, that's all, like... Those guns are really shit. They shouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure that's... I remember that being a fact. So... But hey, pop culture is like, if you throw your gun on the ground, it'll explode. It's fine. Anyway. What do you know about Edgeworth's father? He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. Well, he may have had one peer now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey. My sister? Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques. That's no surprise. Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. Gray, what Edgeworth went through in this case is why I'm so thankful I'm not in that situation. Oh yeah. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods. And he lost. And died in despair, as it were. I see. The spirit medium. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. We already know about this. That was your mother, Misty Fey. I am Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi. Yet Yogi was found innocent. That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud. That's right. Everyone thought she was, you see. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. It says Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? It's only a possibility, mind you. But a possibility nonetheless. Weird. Hey, Grossberg. Wanna look at that? Oh, so this is the letter. It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond. But why kill Robert Hammond? Hammond was a skilled defense attorney. But he defended clients not for their sake, but for his own. His own sake? He never trusted his clients that one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability. But he got his client found innocent, so why should it matter? Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially, he was ruined. Huh? You'll understand soon enough. Wait! What is it? This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before, a long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do you have any idea who wrote this? Ooh. Now, if you've been paying attention, and you think about it, it's Von Karma. Could it be Manfred Von Karma? Von Karma? Why would he have something to do with this? Well, I'm not sure. Von Karma. Von Karma. Wait! You're right, my boy! This is Von Karma's handwriting. I'm sure of it. I used to see it all the time on court reports. What? But that means the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was correct. Manfred Von Karma himself. I don't know why I gave him that voice, by the way. I'm sorry. It's just the thing that I'm doing now. What does this mean then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? That's a great question. Prosecutor Von Karma. If it truly was Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. Oh no! But how could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. That I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. What do you mean? It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win. But he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. Gregory versus Manfred. So much to learn. What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial. But Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusations stood. Faulty evidence? It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. A vacation? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Really? He doesn't take vacations? Like, go to the sea or, to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe. You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya. Europe isn't a strange idea, though. In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. Odd. If he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly, why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? Von Karma is going to bring up Deal 6. You can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to Deal 6? I won't let him. Yes, Mr. Wright. I hate to say this, but even accidental murder is murder, you know. I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick, Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright. If you say so, I suppose I could go check again. The police files might hold something of interest. Mr. Grossberg, thank you. I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. I understand. The police materials, So, now we go to see in the police place. I can't... brain. Edgeworth, how's it going? I was just using you to get to here. My bad. December 27th, Police Department. Criminal Affairs. There's hardly anyone here. Everyone must be out looking for the old guy, Yogi. Ah, it's you. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. He's staying out late looking for someone. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is pounding the pavement for real. We were wondering if we could check out the records room again? Well now, I can't have just anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma is in there now anyway. You can go in as long as he's there. Von Karma? Yes, he just arrived actually. Von Karma's in the records room. Nick, let's hurry. Uh-oh. To the records room. December 27th, Police Department, records room. Dusty as always. We were only here just yesterday. I'm sure they just haven't had time to clean. What's wrong, Nick? Nothing. I was just noticing that he isn't here. Von Karma. Examine. I don't know, like that. Huh? One of the drawers here is open. Someone must have been looking in it recently. The label says, Unsolved Cases, Evidence. Unsolved cases? Nick! The file for DL6, it's completely empty. What? What are you doing in here? Eek! Von Karma! You. How do you know my name? Huh? Have we met? What are you saying? We see each other every day, don't we? We're Miles Edgeworth's defense team. Defense team? I beg your pardon, but you see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. They're like bugs to me, needless things to be crushed. I can see how this guy was Edgeworth's mentor. Hey, we get to talk to Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth was your student, right? A romanticist that could never shed that veneer of amateurism. Just like his father. Always second rate. Mr. Von Karma, you had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you? Me? A grudge against a mere defense attorney? Why? Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record? So you did. But what I don't get is, why did you take his son under your wing afterwards? The son of your most bitter rival. That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Alright, fair enough. Tomorrow's trial. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you will lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit his own guilt. His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean? You're quite the researcher. If you've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow. We were right. So Von Karma is going to bring up DL6 in court tomorrow. Hey, got a question for you. Mr. Von Karma, have a look at this. This was you, wasn't it? You instructed Yanni Yogi to commit murder. Yanni Yogi. How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after he read it. So you admit it? You wrote Mr. Yogi this letter. Yes, my dear defense attorney. Thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You've saved me from a lot of needless hassle. What? Nick! What is that thing? A stun gun for self-defense. Usually. Indeed. 600,000 volts will course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence. 600,000? Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it. Usually. Now give me the letter. No! No! Whoa! What are you? Nick, run! Ah! Maya! Out of my way. Wah! He got us. The letter's gone, of course. And he took the DL6 evidence, all of it. Back to having no clues. Wait, Maya jumped first. Maya, is she okay? Maya! Maya, open your eyes! Maya! The letter, did he take it? Huh? Oh, yeah. Are you okay? I couldn't stop him. I jumped as fast as I could, but one shot from that thing knocked me out cold. I'm useless. I'm no good as a lawyer or a medium. I can't even call my sister. Not even now, when we need her the most. I wish I hadn't woken up at all. Maya! Gah. There has to be some way I can help her. I'd better do something about her self-confidence first. Hmm? Maya, she's holding something. What is that? A bullet? DL6 incident evidence number 7. taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. I remember. Von Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. Put DL6 bullet in pocket. I'll prove it to you, Maya. You're most definitely not useless. I'll prove it to you in court tomorrow. To be continued. Oh. Ow. Here we go. This is the final day. This is the final time. Here's where all the marbles are gonna be thrown at things, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to... It's a big situation, though. Hey, Red Manning. How's it going? You came just in time for the final day, for the most exciting day. December 28th, 9:51 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is it. Judgment Day. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What? What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge? Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. That's not how a stun gun works, I don't think. Whoa, pal! What's got into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured a runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Oh, this is the best part of the case. Here we go. December 26th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right. Well, very well. Hey, pal, Ace Attorney Edgeworth Karma here. Wait, no, I mean, what? Yeah. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in a boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness! Why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. Why I left the court.
I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those emotive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is.
Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Here we go.
Really sorry about leaving yesterday.
I'd call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do, Von Karma and Yanni Yogi. Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes.
I went to buy some food for Polly.
Food?
Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown.
But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack?
Well, I kinda got lost, you see.
The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses.
I figured I got nothing to do with the incident.
You've lost much of your memory, is that correct?
Yep, seems like it.
Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue.
I need motives, yeah?
How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes. Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past, or lack thereof, into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said that he has nothing to do with this case, and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Oh! Oh! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So who is he? Don't play dumb Von Karma. Don't play dumb Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. It's obviously Gregory Edgeworth. Ah, Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. I thought the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you gonna prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No! Tisk, tisk, tisk. What will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright? Perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief, hmm? Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine the parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor! The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. take Mr. Von Karma up? On his proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. I remember playing this for the first time and doing this, and I was like, what? Order! Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Of course! Let the parrot take the stand! I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence. Except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Who is your owner? Hello, hello, Rat! Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well. Begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you gonna do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Phoenix Wright, the only game where you can cross-examine a parrot live on a witness stand. Is great. Hello, hello. Rah. Now, it's great. It's really good. Actually, oh no. What's up, Red Manning? Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have we forgotten something? Absolutely. Remember 2 days ago. Polly, have we forgotten something? You can do that in Aviary Attorney, another game that does exist and is actually pretty fun. Alright, yeah, that's fair. That's on my wish list, actually. I remember seeing Aviary Attorney, and I was like, oh, that looks great. It's birds and attorneys and stuff. You're right. Is there a parrot, though? Is there a parrot that goes on the stand? That is something I need to know. Have we forgotten something? Don't forget DL6. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello! That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something we forgot. Hello! Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. I don't know. I mean, okay. He couldn't have... Probably. Alright, fair enough. I'll look into it once I will get it at some point, because it's cool, and I want to play it. But I don't know. That's fair. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we'd asked if we'd forgotten anything? Witness, you're here to speak! You must speak to me. On stream or in your own time? Probably on stream, honestly, at some point. I'd have to get it first. Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to the parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Okay. Witness, you can't just say hello. Alright, so. What's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, Polly, what's her name? Polly, Polly! Rah! Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? I believe so. Yeah. So if you look into the data, it says, court bailiff trapped with the Edgeworth's memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins commits suicide. Of course! Yes, it does. Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... the DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is there proof on, then? Is this proof on, then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? I believe it's suspect data. I don't remember. Suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See? See? Indeed. It does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He remembered the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 17 years old! Or 7 years old, excuse me. 7. And 17, that would be more in line. Indeed. Alone, it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue. So, the last thing that we haven't pressed. You can't just say hello. Alright, what's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number if that's safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? What? 1228. 1228. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Now, 1228, if you remember, is the date of the DL6 incident. So yeah. Ah, ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? It's the DL6 case file. The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something related to the safe number? Case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah! This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. Oh, thank you, Von Karma. I appreciate your gloating. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, 2 coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. No. I'm sorry, but I gotta say. 2 is a coincidence. 3 times is a pattern. Come on. Learn your shit. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness. Tell us your name. Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I've wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Well, that was easy. Sweet. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant Miles Edgeworth is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Yay! We did it. That is all. The court is adjourned. Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. I don't know why they put his sprite like that. It looks terrible. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? Objection? The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a reoccurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know. It wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean, in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me! Oh, Edgeworth. Order. Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. It's only a day, though. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider an appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Oh, Edgeworth. December 28th, 2:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. I'm sorry, Wright? I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, pal. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth. But I don't believe in your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here, in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. December 28th, 2:30 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Then I would like to resume our trial. Judge! Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Whew. Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. The DL6 incident. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. The DL6 incident. Let's do a good old save right here. It's been a little bit. Okay. That day, gone to the courtroom. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. Mr. Von Karma. As we went to leave, earthquake. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then something hit. Something heavy fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? Picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. Gonna go get my cat's claws cut. Alright, see you, Red Manning. Thanks for hanging out for a while. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi. I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. The gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream? Scream, I mean. It's a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. To this day? Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence, but I don't know what it means. I better find out, and quick. Okay, so let's look through our evidence. We have the DL6 case file. Aaron, it was, you know, depleted oxygen, no clues. Trapped in the elevator, returning from the lost trial with son, Miles, age 9. 1 bullet found in the heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Poor bailiff, trapped with Edgeworth's memory loss. So, the bullet was fired twice. Or, the gun was fired twice. Excuse me. This has clear ballistic markings, which is good, but single gunshot. Are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Oh my god, was it just... No, not that. Not this. It's the second page, victim data. Victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard 1 gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when the second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with this case? Yep, I do. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Yup. So, you look at the photo, there's clearly the bullet that would have gone inside him, but there's also a clear, cracking of the window. So, look at this photograph. Every time you do. It makes you laugh. Anyway. This is the photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. Is right there. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary, that's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Like a bullet. Order. I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Gah! How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no. He's confessing. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? Objection! Your Honor! I object! Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Oof. Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. Grah! It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists. What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. Gow. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet? Why would he? Huh? First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? Yeah, absolutely. Of course there was a need. That's why he took it. Pah! What possible reason could he have had? Well... the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with him is... the murderer was caught. These are both valid answers. That's the problem here. The bullet would be proof. Maybe he thought that the bullet would be used as proof? Proof? It was a special bullet, so he took it with him. If that is the case, then he would have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Huh? Why would he only take one of the 2 shots fired? Oh, right. Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm going to have to penalize you. Fair enough. Ah, this isn't going so well. Some pressing need, so it's the other option. The murderer had to find it. Wait. Didn't need it? Yeah, actually, wait. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for the stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah! The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Urk. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer... What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. I think I have an idea on what Phoenix said. What do you mean? Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. Phoenix, you figured out my theory. You're so smart. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot? And he left with the second bullet still inside. Inside? Thus, leaving only the one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yes. I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other 2 people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The 2 men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something. Really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean It could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from the outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Yeah, why not? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? Erk. My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? Sitting right there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Irk. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright. Can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? No. It would be impossible to find the doctor who operated on Von Karma now, even if Von Karma did undergo surgery. It seems you have finally come to your senses. You've realized the truth. You can't prove something that didn't happen. Irk! Nick, the court record. There must be something. The court record? What would be in there? Ah, there's no time. I better think on it as I go. Alright, Von Karma. I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... do I remember this? And... oh, right. Metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible? For all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order, order, order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet! Mr. Von Karma? You! It was you! I was afraid this would happen. And so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright. Not I. That's not true. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close, one day away from freedom. You see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. It's the only thing you have left, the DL6 bullet. Still bears ballistic markings. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with the weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One bullet, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! Bang! Warg! It's that scream I heard in the elevator. 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed! Mr. Von Karma? Oh, Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me! So it was you. You and your father on my curse! I love this. It's so good. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death! 15 years earlier. Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out to the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button and nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it! Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way into the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Ah! Oh, took a while to get there. That is all. The court is adjourned. It's exciting. It's very good. I like this case a lot. It's very good. December 28th, 5:38 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Oof. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Dear, dear. Whoop! Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick a hand in a cookie jar, even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life, it's over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Keonce, or Keonce. She's going to live in Paris, Nick. Paris! Paris, Nick! She's leaving me behind. Larry. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. 38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38. No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored. He came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest's history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Gah. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, I'd call you a goody two-shoes to the extreme. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if only I'd known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Wanna switch, right? Hey, y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, although Edgeworth was still in detention. December 29th, 5:02 a.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. Currently watching it right now. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Gah! The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Well, wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, bye. Bye. Oh, it's so sad. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ah! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Yay! Oh. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? I really enjoy these little epilogue things. Thanks, Kumiko. I don't know what... Huh? Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but not exactly what you'd call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now. Yeah. Larry never learns. Graphics Tatsuro Iwamoto. Thanks, dude. You did it. Haha. Who? Right? Yeah, I remember him. I heard he's busy lately. He's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. Pain. What a terrible, terrible man. Terrible prosecutor. Noriyuki Otani. Phoenix Wright? Ah, the defense attorney from whom I wrote that affidavit for. Oh, you should know I've taken management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Bellboy, whatever. Oh, it's you. Phoenix, right? Yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Grossberg. Such good music, too. I'm so... Man.
Phoenix, right? He an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Did you know that they're finally putting the DVD of the thing? DVD 3 days ago.
Talking about Hammer. Old bag. I'm pleased to announce The Pink Princess is a hit. I'm sure I owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Oh, Will Powers. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at, anyway? So this is kind of interesting. They're being interviewed by somebody who isn't Phoenix, so I have no idea who it is. Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Cody Hackins. Yeah, it's like somebody is interviewing all the people, and I have no idea who it is, and I really want to know. Yeah, I remember, right? The lawyer guy. Huh, me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know, that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real? Now, that's talent. You're gonna be famous. I'm gonna be famous, excuse me. Oh, Wada. Yeah, see, there is a ghost. It's Mia. And look, the confetti and victory! It's so good. It's a great picture. Capcom. Oh, Capcom. But wait! That's not it. There is one more. Brand new episode has been added. Rise from the Ashes. So, we're gonna end it right there. Next time, we'll start episode 5. Rise from the Ashes. Get it? Because it's Phoenix. Anyway. Let's do that one to get it out of the way. It's not getting it out of the way. I mean, I can start it. I'll start it at least. So. It's got a great opening thing here. It's so cool. I'll give you a stinger, I guess. Look at that animation! Look at this! What is this? Oh my god. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. February 22nd, 10:02 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally! Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. You're the famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the coffee boy? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief, then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please! I'm out of time. But, please, you have to help. It's my sister. Maya? Could it be... Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma. Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? So that's where we'll end it off for today. Emma is coming to us with a new case, new thing. But that is going to be it for today. Thank you all very much, so very much for watching. I appreciate it. It's always a fun time to play this game. We only have the one case left. This is the last case of this game, and then we'll be picking the next I love, which Phoenix Wright, the next one, I think is Trials and Tribulations, will be on that list. So, This will take probably another couple sessions or so. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good one. And I will see you tomorrow for more Shadow Warrior. So, bye for now.